Hello students, very good morning to all of you. I hope you all are doing fine at your home. So today myself Mrs. Mitali and we are going to start our history chapter number 1, that means tracing changes in medieval period. This is our history chapter number 1. So before starting this chapter, first of all I think we should discuss this word, what is history. What is history? So the study of past, whatever we study that is related to our past is known as the history. So history basically broadly categorized into three time periods. First is ancient, then the medieval, and then the modern. So that means the history is divided into three parts. Ancient history. What was that ancient history? When we read about the Stone Age, the Paleolithic Age, Mesolithic Age, that we have studied in our class 6, that was your ancient history. Now we are going to study about the medieval period of the history, which is, this is the middle history. That means this is our modern history, which you are going to study in your class 8, and which is all about the British, the Turk. So this we are going to study in our class 8. So in this class we are going to study about this period, which was medieval period. So medieval is known as middle period. In this, what happened there? A lot of changes happened in this time period. For example, there are so many economic changes, political changes, and religious changing. So a lot of changes has occurred in this time period, and various dynasties, various kings like Patihara Gujaras, like Cholas, like Pandyas, Pallavas. So all that kings and dynasty emerged in this time period that we are going to study in our class 7. So basically for class 6, medieval for class 7, and modern for class 8. So in this whole grade 7, you are going to read about the medieval time period. When was that medieval time started and when it was ended? So the medieval time period was from AD 700 to AD 1750, and it is further divided into early medieval and the late medieval. That means from 8th to 13th century, you can say this was early medieval, and late medieval period was from 13th century to 18th century. So roughly you can say that it is from 8th century to 18th century. So that was the medieval time period. So the next topic that we are going to start is old and the new terminology, and that we are going to study with the link of the name of India. So earlier in ancient times, India was known as Bharatvarsha, which was the land of the Bharatas. But now what happened? Now this name has been changed. In the medieval time period, Muslims, when Muslims saw that all the people whether they belong to any religions, they are not giving that much importance to the religions. So what they considered that all the people here are Hindus. So what they have given the name Hindustan. The same name which was used by 17th century Babur. Babur used the same name when he has seen the flora and the fauna and the culture of our country India. But in modern history, when the Britishers have came, when the Greek people have came to our country India, so they have given it the name India, which was on the name of the Indus River and which has connection with the word indoors. The next topic is social and political changes. That means in this medieval period, what the social and political changes may occur. So the first change which happened is the invention of Persian wheel or the spinning wheel, which was used in the different things like agriculture, like making clothes, like so many things. New food and the beverages. New foods and beverages was introduced, like potatoes, like corn, like tea, coffee, chili. So there were so many variety of foods there. So as the variety of foods were emerging, so more agriculture land is required. So when the agriculture land is required more, so what the people will do? The people will start clearing the forest. So they have started clearing the forest. So and most of the people they have started traveling long distances for the opportunities. So ये तो बातें थी थोड़े से changes की, but what major change has happened in that time period is that, see, when the forest was cleared for the agriculture, so the people, those who were living in that forest, they were forced to migrate. First thing, some people have started tilling the land and some have become the peasants, or you can say the farmers. They have become the farmers and now they have started doing the agriculture on the land which was available to them. But what happened afterwards? Afterwards what happened, bacha? These peasants, they have started following their own religions. They have started following their temples, their monasteries, or you can say anything. So as the people are getting their own jobs, उनको अपना अपना काम वो खुद से select करने लगे हैं. So what happens? ये जो different peoples हैं, it divided into different groups. It divided into different groups, which was called the जातीज. यहाँ पर एक नया सिस्टम स्टार्ट हो गया, which was the जाति सिस्टम, है ना. तो अब क्या हुआ, जो अलग अलग लोग थे, जो अलग अलग काम करते, उन्होंने अपनी अलग अलग क्या बना ली, जाति बना ली, अपनी रिलीजन के बेसिस पे, अपने काम के बेसिस पे. एंड नाउ व्हाट दे हैव स्टार्टेड डूइंग इज they have started making their own rules. एक जाति, उसमें group of people are there, and now they have started making their own rules, their own regulations, or moreover they have made their own पंचायत. तो जाति ने क्या किया, अलग अलग जाति, अलग अलग जगह पे अलग अलग जाति और अलग अलग जाति की अलग अलग इम्पोर्टेंस. तो दैट मीन्स द होल सोशल जो था, सोसाइटी जो थी, दैट वाज कंप्लीटली changed and is divided into different jatis. Next topic is major developments. The next topic that we are going to discuss here is the major developments that happened under the medieval period. That means from 8th to 18th century. From 8th to 18th century. So what are the changes that happened? What are the major developments that happened during that time? Is the major development was Rajputas. What was the Rajputa dynasty? The name came from the Raja Putras, which means the son of the king. And what happened during the time from 18th to 14th century? They have declared themselves as the Kshatriyas. So what are the Kshatriyas? Kshatriyas क्या होती थी? The division of the society which happened at that time, in which just the rulers and the chieftains were included, but then the soldiers or the warriors, you can say, that were also included here, so that only the person, those who were like involved in the fights with the other dynasties or the other kings, they declared themselves as the Kshatriyas, and they ruled the country, they ruled the area for about, you can say, the 14th century. But what happened? Other groups also emerged during this period. बहुत सारे groups निकल कर सामने आए, बहुत सारी लड़ाइयाँ हुई in medieval period में. दिल्ली बना, दिल्ली के सुल्तान चेंज होते रहे. तो दिस ऑल, ये हिस्ट्री में यही तो होता है ना, कि किसने किससे लड़ाई करी, है ना, कौन जीता, किसके अंदर कब कौन सा एरिया था. तो दैट ऑल, so many things happened during the medieval period that we are going to discuss, just like the groups like Maratha, Sikhs, Jat, Ahoms, and they become so politically important. ये बहुत ज्यादा क्या हो गए, politically important हो गए. The period after the death of Harshvardhan came to be known as the Rajput period. जब Harshvardhan, which was a king, which was a very famous king, I hope you all have read about him in your class 6. So when he died, then the Rajputas were emerged. During this period, several very powerful dynasties that you are going to read in your chapter number 2, like Gurjara, Patiharas, Cholas, Pandyas, and Solankis, Tomers, so all them have emerged so powerfully and few of them were declined also. कुछ खत्म भी हो गई. जब युद्ध होगा तो एक डायनेस्टी जो जीतेगी और जो दूसरी डायनेस्टी होगी जो हार जाएगी, what will happen to that? It will automatically decline because now that dynasty has gone to the winning dynasty जो जीत चुकी है. So there are so many changes that happened during the medieval period. There were so many things happened, like the Pratiharas ruled over Rajasthan, the Tomers built the city of Delhi, the Solankis ruled in the Kathiawar, the Chandelas and the Chauhans, they ruled in the Bundelkhand and Rajasthan. So there were so many things, like the Prithviraj Chauhan, which was a very powerful king of the Chauhans dynasty. He died in a war with whom? With Muhammad Ghori. Yes, he had two fights with him. In the first he won and in the second he died. And then after Muhammad Ghori took over his area, and there were so many other dynasties that came with the death of Prithviraj Chauhan. It came into slave dynasty. Now we are moving towards slavery. Then the Khiljis, the Tughlaqs and the Lodhis came into the power. The last Lodhi ruler, which was killed by Babur, जो इतनी सारी dynasties थी, है ना, they were fighting with each other, and then some foreign invasions happened, यानी foreign से भी इंडिया पे attack हो गया, and they started ruling our country. Then what happened is, during the battle of Panipat in 1526, what happened? The Lodhi ruler, he died with a fight with the Babur. Now Delhi has a new ruler. Then Babur's son Humayun, who defeated the Sher Shah, right? So he also regained his empire. तो उसने क्या किया, जब उसने उसको हरा दिया तो उसका एरिया जो था वो किसके अंडर चला गया? हुमायूं के अंडर चला गया. Jahangir also succeeded Akbar. So there were so many things like the Aurangzeb. Then he became a very able administrator. The Mughal Empire declined. Mughal Empire बहुत तेजी से बढ़ी. But then what happened? Mughal Empire declined slowly after his death. After the Aurangzeb की जब death हो गई, so it started declining because the successor of Aurangzeb, जो औरंगजेब के बाद जितने भी people आए, they were not that efficient. वो इतने efficient नहीं थे. They were more corrupt. So due to the weakness, what happened? The Delhi उनके हाथ से चली गई. So that is all about the major developments that I have just briefed you, and this all we are going to study in chapter number 2, 3, 4, 5, because in whole history we are going to study about this medieval period only. So there were so many languages that also emerged during this time period, like Sindhi, like Lahori, like Kashmiri. So in different areas, because different dynasties were there. देखो राजस्थान किसी और के अंदर था, महाराष्ट्र किसी और के अंदर था. So different dynasties had their different languages. So that languages have emerged in this medieval time period. So there are so many languages that were emerged in the medieval time period. So till now we have discussed about the social and the political development. हमने discuss कर लिया how the society was divided into jatis. Then we have discussed about some major developments like which all dynasties. थोड़ा सा brief में पढ़ा है, कोई बात नहीं, डिटेल में हम पढ़ लेंगे, अभी बहुत सारे chapters बाकी हैं. So some major developments like कि किस राजा ने किससे युद्ध किया, किसको हराया, कौन कौन सी dynasties उभर कर सामने आई, that all. Then languages we have already discussed. So the next thing that we are going to discuss now is the religion development, or you can say the religional development. Now as the society was divided into different groups, the people have started praying their own gods, है ना. तो अब क्या हुआ, धीरे धीरे सोसाइटी में क्या हो रहा था, what was happening in the societies? The Brahmins, जो Brahmins थे, जो क्या करवाते थे, रिचुअल्स करवाते थे. रिचुअल मीन्स जो प्रेयर करवाते थे, जो प्रीस्ट होते थे, they were getting a lot of significance, like they were getting so much importance कि ये माना जाता था कि ना तो राजा कोई काम कर सकता है ब्राह्मण के बिना, किसी के घर में कोई पूजा करानी है देन ऑल्सो ब्राह्मण को बुलाना पड़ेगा. सो दीज Brahmins were getting a lot of importance during this time. But slowly what happened, because देखो everyone cannot afford such a big rituals, हर कोई इतना afford नहीं कर सकता है ना. उस टाइम पे भी तो ऐसा होता होगा that there are some rich people like Kshatriyas and there are some few poor people, those who cannot afford. So what happened after Brahman, Bhakti movement took place. Bhakti movement. What was Bhakti movement? ये Bhakti movement क्या था? Bhakti movement means when you can, you know, आप अपने God को पूजा कर सकते हो, when you can worship your God on your own. There is no need to do the rituals. घर पे बुला के ब्राह्मण्स को यज्ञ कराने की, उनका खाना कराने की कोई requirement नहीं है. Now, if you want to worship your God, you can do it yourself without the help of the Brahman. So that was Bhakti movement, where the people can do the worship on their own. And also in this medieval time period में in the religional development, one more religion came into existence, which was Islam. It was the Islam, and they have given the word Allah. So the word Allah was given during the medieval time period, and they believe that there is only one God. They believe in the sovereignty of one God, that is Allah. So it's so easy, isn't it? What happened? Brahmins were getting importance. Then Bhakti movement has started, where without the doing rituals you can actually worship your God. And then one more religion came into existence, which was Islam, and Islam has given that there is only one God, that is Allah. So that is the development that we have studied until now, which happened in the medieval time period. And now we are going to discuss about the sources from where we get the information about the medieval time period. The last topic that we are going to discuss today is the sources. Now we have studied about the political changes, religious changes. So there are so many changes that we have studied that happened during the medieval time period or the middle time period of the history. But ये सारी information हमें मिली कहाँ से? From where did we get all this information? That is the sources, that from where we are getting the information. So in sources, as we have discussed in class 6 also, it is divided into two parts. One is your archaeological sources and second is the literary sources. So what are the difference between archaeological? Archaeological sources are the direct evidences. These are the direct evidences which cannot be altered, which cannot be changed. आपको जिस form में मिले हैं, you cannot change that form. On the other hand, what are the literary sources? Literary sources are the written records. These are the written records which we have found in the form of written. हमको लिखी पूरी book मिल गई. So that is the literary source. So here, as the archaeological sources are direct evidences, we cannot change the archaeological sources. So what can be that? हमको पता है, we cannot change the inscriptions that we have discussed in last year also. What are the inscriptions that are engraved? जो खुदाई कर दी जाती है, engrave हो गया है. It can be on the rock, it can be on the clay tablet, it can be on the metal pillars, it can be anywhere. It can be anywhere. तो उन सबको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Inscriptions, which is engrave. और अब जो चीज engrave हो चुकी है, the thing वो जो उसकी खुदाई हो चुकी है, can you change that? We cannot change that. So that is a part of archaeological source. The second is monuments. What are the monuments? Old buildings. Whether that can be a temple, that can be a king's palace, that can be a mosque, that can be a tomb, that can be any place which was made during the history, so that are monuments, and of course we cannot change that. Then the paintings which have drawn on the wall of the caves, the paintings that they have emerged at that time period, beautiful paintings were emerged at that time period, so you can change that? No. So that is again a part of your archaeological sources. And the last is very important, that is the coins. हर राजा के अपने क्या होते थे? कॉइन्स होते थे. हर राजा के अपने कॉइन्स होते थे. सो दैट कॉइन गिव्स अस अ लॉट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट दैट किंग. फर्स्ट इंफॉर्मेशन दैट कि कौन सी राजा कौन सा मेटल यूज करते थे फॉर मेकिंग द coins, which shape they used to make. Generally it was a round shape, but still. And then the ear was embedded or the engraved on that coin. So basically the coins gives us the short but very important information. थोड़ी सी information देंगे, but that is very very important. So inscriptions, monuments, paintings and coins that we have studied in our archaeological sources, that means which are the direct evidences, and we cannot change that, we cannot alter that according to our requirement or according to if we want to change, we just cannot do that. So the next is the literary sources. Literary sources, as we have already explained, that are the written records. Written records किस form में हो सकता है? That can be in the form of autobiographies or the biographies. What is the difference between autobiography and the biography? That means biography. First, what is biography? Biography means when we are writing on the life of a people. If you all are writing a book on Mithali ma'am's life, I am Mithali, है ना? So कोई बात नहीं, धीरे धीरे याद हो जाएगा मेरा नाम. So if you are writing a complete book on my life, that is a biography. That is a biography. So ma'am, what is autobiography and biography? So basically देखो, when I am writing a book on my life, मैंने अपनी ही लाइफ पे खुद ही एक पूरी बुक लिख दी है. So that is autobiography. When I am writing about my life on my own. But if you are writing about my life, that is बायोग्राफी. तो ऐसा होता था पहले के टाइम पे, अगर किंग ने अपने ऊपर ही कोई बुक लिख दी है, सो दैट इज ऑटोबायोग्राफी. बट अगर किंग के किसी मंत्री ने या उसके किसी एट दैट टाइम किंग के पास ना, दे वर स्पेशल पीपल, दोज हु वर द पोएट्स और द ड्रामाटिस्ट, दे वर स्पेशल पीपल, एंड इफ दैट पीपल इज राइटिंग अ बुक ऑन दैट किंग, सो दैट इज biography. So there are so many examples that is given in your book, the biographies ke bhi and autobiographies ke bhi. See, the most important autobiography by Firoz Shah Tughlaq and Babur is given, Jahangir is given. So that is autobiographies. That means the people have written the biography on their own life. And some biographies are also given, like Prithviraj Raso by Chandrabai. And it describes the life of Prithviraj Chauhan, and then is the different examples are given in your book. So the next here is what are the chronicles. अब ये chronicles क्या होते थे? The chronicle is, suppose I'm a king. Suppose मैंने लड़ाई करके, युद्ध करके और एक एरिया जीत लिया. Now I have a very big empire, right? लेकिन मैं I want कि there should be some written रिकॉर्ड्स, ताकि आज से 100 साल बाद, 200 साल बाद, 500 साल बाद जब लोग मेरा नाम पढ़ेंगे तो उन्हें कैसे पता होगा मैंने क्या क्या काम किए. सो क्या करते थे, what the king used to do is, the king used to appoint a person, those who will write all the records about that king's time. उस king के टाइम की पूरे डिटेल लिख देते थे कि इस साल में ये वाला युद्ध हुआ, राजा जीता या हारा, then after that this happened, this happened, this happened. So the written record of that particular king's regime, that is complete, is called chronicle. Chronicle means written record of one king's time. That is chronicles. Then the next is the travelogue. So these are the new words which we have not studied actually in our class 6. We have already discussed the archaeological sources. What are the travelogues? Travelogues क्या होता है? देखो नाम से ही पता चल रहा है, travel. Travel means एक जगह से दूसरी जगह पे जाना. So suppose at that time I was a traveler. I used to travel to different countries, अलग अलग countries में जाना मुझे अच्छा लगता था. Maybe as a trader or as a merchant or as any person, but I used to travel a lot. If I am traveling to different places and I am writing my book, मैं क्या कर रही हूँ, मैं अपनी book लिख रही हूँ, अपने experience लिख रही हूँ. You guys can also make it. Suppose you are going to Manali in one vacation, then in another vacation you have went to Goa. So both are different experiences. Like Manali is a hill station, Goa is a Goa has some beaches or some sea ocean. So they both are different experiences. So you can also write. Maybe कोई लिखता भी हो तुम में से. So that thing, that experiences of yours that you are recording at a place, that is called the travelogue. So at that time, in the medieval time period, so many Muslims and Europeans traveled, visited India, and they have written so many things. Like अब मैं किसी राजा के उसमें पहुंची और मुझे उस राजा की कोट, king's coat, I really like the king coat, and I have written a lot of details about that particular king, about the court, about his administration, about how he thinks, how he reacts to people's problems. So that is all comes in the travelogue. So the last topic of this chapter we have discussed was sources, that from where we get the information, then the archaeological sources, which are the direct evidences, literary sources, which are the written records, and in these two headings we have done some few subheadings, that is inscriptions, monuments, painting, coins. In literary sources, which is in the written form, autobiographies, biographies, chronicles, and your travelogues. So thank you so much all. Read the chapter carefully, and if you have any doubt you can write me, right? Bye bye.